But he's not going to tell anyone how content is going to be organized, because each and every project has a different idea of how content is going to be organized, and that's human. And what we don't want to see is the almighty Anglo-Saxon community dictating condition to anybody else, as it happens in Wikipedia. Because that's the power of the numbers. When you have more people speaking in a certain language, it's obvious that their interests are overrepresented. It's not that they're right or wrong. They're simply overrepresented because it's many of them. So they command the game because it's more of them. So what we want is a totally different and anarchic situation in which our content is organized in regions, as it's called. What does it mean? Regions are sets in a mathematical sense. You all know what a set is, apart from tennis. Okay. So you have one of these profiles here, and you have region A. No, let's use numbers so we don't make a confusion. We use 1, 2, and 3. Profile 1, it's here, it's our cat. I promise I'll feed him later. He's got to be hungry by now. And he's supposed to take part in something here that is a simple dictionary. Something here is a study on pronunciation. Suppose we have somebody doing it. And the third here is a slang dictionary, where cool cats and stuff like that are counted. Now obviously, if you're building up a slang dictionary, your classification mechanisms are going to be totally different from somebody who's making a scientific dictionary about cats. But if you are a translator, you're going to need them both, because it really depends which one you need. And we cannot force the organization of this dictionary to stand upon this one, because when you make a translation of Fritz the cat, who is a cartoon character, you don't need to know anything about Phyllis Leo, do you? No. You need to know a lot about the way the cartoon character moves, and things move, because what you're translating is an article about cartoons. And you need to know stuff about cats and cartoons. So you need a taxonomy telling you what is related to what in cartoons. But if all of a sudden you're translating an article about Sammy's cats, do you need to know anything about Fritz? So that's the reason why we need this things. It was either one way, going here and saying, okay, there's going to be a meeting place in which everybody meets and they decide. I never saw that working in my life. So the second thing is, everybody may have it their own way. If you want to build up a project, you can use all the content that exists. All the profiles here are accessible to you. You catalog them. That means you volunteer your own horsepower, human power actually, to go there and say, okay, this is Fritz the cat, it's supposed to be like this, like that, like that, like that. You do it. Okay, we collect the data, we publish it. If a translator comes in, he's going to find data about cartoons as a need. Since people are translating things, even in remote places, people can know something about Fritz the cat, and it works the opposite way. Because I can put the characters of my all my childhood in and the stories that grandmother was telling me here, and somebody may translate them in English. So it goes both ways. But different projects can organize in different ways. And the carrier, the one thing that sends out the information, remains the same. What happens is like a radio. People can tune in and decide that, okay, I'm in a village, I have that data there. What I'm interested in is potatoes. So okay, I'll go for agriculture, Russian, Ukrainian, because that's what I can understand, and that will be. You can publish all the rocket science you want, and it's not going to pass on my computer. Because, sorry, I pay for traffic, and I don't need it. You can have all the rocket science you want somewhere else, and you pay for it. What I need is agriculture in Russian and Ukrainian. That's what I'm going to get, that's what I'm going to exchange with you. And that's an important thing, because most of the existing projects underrate, in my opinion, the fact that people pay for it. They do. We don't, but they do. So it's important that you can squeeze out exactly what you need and pay exactly for it. That's the heart of it, basically. I could talk for hours about details, but I don't think they are of any interest for you. The general idea is that you can tailor it, you can grow it, you can edit lists, you can use whatever is there. You can use it to be a container. You can use it to contain things that is written, spoken, or filmed. You can use it to contain full documents as a library. That is, you can scan stuff and publish the translation of the scanning stuff and whatever. And it has a semantic structure that allows you to annotate, be it Fritz the cat or rocket science or potatoes or whatever you want it to be. And you can organize your taxonomy. That's the important part. If you need a taxonomy and it's not there, you start up a region that is another project. You already have all the content. And you use it the way you need it. Your culture need it. And now it's going to be useful for you. If anybody wants to see the translation of it, that's the content. All they have to do is translate. Big. But nobody is going to tell anybody what's the right way to say things is. Because it just doesn't. That's it.
Okay.
Questions?
Yeah. Questions to Friedels, thanks to Amanda, or to technology, whatever it was about. I don't know, not all of you were here this morning, so we cannot go back to this, I would say. Does anybody have a question specific? Or was it all just too much? I can maybe give an example because this started as something that should have been, and it's also going to be there tomorrow in this translation marathon. We took a list of words that are part of Parley, which is a tool by KDE to learn vocabulary. So it starts from English and was built into 4 languages. And we found out these 4 languages were already crappy. They were not good. So we started to have them proofread. And now from there, things are being translated into many other languages. I mean, we didn't really want to start it, but it just happened. And so we had, the main language was English, and it started to go from English to German, to Spanish, to Russian and Arabic. Russian was really, really well.
Fun.
Yeah, a good part of it was simply deleted because it wasn't good enough. But now we have people from from Eastern Europe starting to work on less resource languages on that. And some of them actually started to use Russian as the starting language because they don't know any English. Now, we already also form German, English to German or English to Russian. We had the word medal, which was used for German in a specific content as Orden, which can be translated as Orden, but normally medal, if you think about the Olympics, it's Medaille. But in this specific case, who did the translation into German probably had a text in front of him, where medal was to be translated like Orden, or did it from German to English actually. And then the other languages in Spanish or also in Russian refer to the Olympic medal and not to the thing you get when you were good at war. So when somebody now starts to translate from German into other languages, you get a completely different translation that goes on. And when we then go there and say, okay, we now we have, let's say, any language that is specifically on this military aspect, and you compare it again to English,